The waves crash around your ship as you pursue Azura Thunderflare to the west. No doubt attempting to catch up to them, and wreak vengeance for the horrible spells that they wrought upon your vessel, keeping you almost sealed away for an entire day. Thankfully, it's only been a few hours. You can't see them on the horizon, but you know that they're there, heading west. And far, far off in the distance, from high up on the crow's nest, spyglass snapped out, and peering through it, some of you can see a massive island with storm clouds raging above it. Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, and others, to Prism Blade Gaming's production of The Seas of Saltmarsh, Episode 5, Battle on the Waves. My name is Hawk Johansson. I am your Dungeon Master for this evening. Joining us today is also Quinn, playing Sorok.
Hello.
Shun, playing Helica.
Greetings.
Dingo, playing Amo.
Howdy.
Shinzo, playing himself.
Hello, hello.
And Bean, playing Chantel.
To collect more souls.
Also, Ryan, playing Ikarath, because I just noticed you were here, Ryan.
I made it just in time. Hi.
Yeah! Last time, as the intro suggested, the party left Tolplan Island after claiming their second piece of 8 and defeating the wicked and evil Mistress. After talking to some of the natives and gaining their support with a lot of things in the future, they headed out back onto the high seas only to find Azura Thunderflare waiting for them, the only other descendant of the Sea Princes who is currently looking for the pieces of 8 as well. And Azura, being a absolute bastard, cast a calming spell over the waves, nearly locking the party in one place for an entire day. But fortunately, they have extra planner resources, and Chantel called upon her brother to help install the Hellforge into the ship, allowing them to take off at the speed of Satan. Now, they are currently traveling at the speed of Satan, moving quite quickly across the waves, attempting to catch up to Azura and their pirate crew before they can reach the next island. Now, is there any role-playing y'all would like to do before this adventure begins? Any specific things you'd like to do or take care of?
Chantel is currently talking to Razgul and Truggle, and the Hellforge will need to have a new one for the business. She turns around and looks at everyone. Should I cast more fish, make a storm, and put more souls in the ship so to make it faster?
Smart idea.
Sorok would think for a moment. Yeah. We can't let them beat us.
Them.
Let them beat us.
Alright. She begins to make a flick with her fingers, and another storm brews as it draws towards a pool of water nearby the end of the ship. More dead fishes float up as she casts her storm, and hopefully those souls will go into the Hellforge.
Okay. All right. As the dozens upon hundreds of fishy souls start swirling into the Hellforge, the ship does start to pick up speed. It start going fast. And it's going fast. Like, that's all I have to say on the matter. You have sped up significantly.
Delicate.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Shun.
No, it's okay. Go.
I was just going to note that, yes, we're going faster, and we're going towards the island faster. But we don't see their boat, do we?
You do not.
So we can't be certain they haven't changed course while we were delayed.
According to the map, there is another island slightly to the south of, southwest of your current location. I should actually put a marker on here for where you are. I think I'll use one of the Any Which Way maps for that. Any Which Way is a couple of art packs that have really cool, like, old-fashioned arts that allow you to make big world maps, and they look very pretty. And they also have these awesome little tokens. And I know there's a boat one. Where is it? Where is the boat?
So they might have veered off.
There isn't a boat. Okay. Fine. Fuck it.
In fact, if I remember, like, look here on the map, it might have just gone directly west as a way to try to avoid the merfolk in that area of water, instead of cutting directly across to the smaller island.
Don't we have a particular creature that can fly around and scout out for us?
My Sphinx.
That
Only a
being
suggestion.
said, it could be on the larger or smaller of the two islands.
Helica summons Arla.
Arilla approaches, looking curiously at the group.
Captain Sark would want a word with you.
Is it possible for you to scout out ahead, possibly find the our rivals?
She nods. I can do that. As she takes off suddenly, a burst of air flowing over the rest of the crew as she soars into the sky. It'll take her a little while to get back. So, any other ideas?
Well, if she does that, we should start doing our own searches. Perhaps, well, you're near the merfolk, yeah?
You are a bit north of them, yes.
Perhaps we could have a little discussion with them.
I will warn you, if you do, it's going to let them get ahead. Like, even more than they already are.
Yeah, no, that's not good. But we also need to decide if we're going towards the southern island or northern.
We could. Oh, sorry.
What I think we should do is go a bit closer towards the southern one, but we continue going west. In case that we don't see the ship from here, but gives the Sphinx some time to actually, like, fly around. She is a Sphinx, right? Or am I?
Yeah. She's a Sphinx.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
As you change your course, a few minutes later, Orilla returns, looking confused. I believe I have located them.
Oi?
There are 2 boats. Possibly 3, each surrounded by a bank of fog.
That's not good.
She has a fleet.
Question.
Yes?
Is there any history or lore relating to pirates relating to any potential hazards of piracy when it comes to such a fog?
Roll history. Let's find out what you know.
Oh boy.
Alright. Oh boy. Nat 1!
Ah,
Oh.
it's not that one, but it didn't roll well. I need to actually get into freaking history for freaking skills.
Yeah, you do know one.
Damn it.
Rocks.
Okay.
Is it possible that some might be a decoy? We've seen them do that before, just before they left.
According to Orilla, as she comes over and starts pointing at your maps, Azura was either heading towards the big island, towards the small island, or in some direction in between.
Definitely trying to throw us off.
We have speed on our side, so why not stay course and, as Captain Sark suggested, cut by the island to the south and then move more so to the west.
So that way, if they are utilizing greater illusion to hide their true ship, we'll be able to spot which direction at that point, because we're practically doing all 3 directions, but we're taking a bit more of a roundabout way of doing so.
Exactly.
Because if it happens that they're not on either of these islands, they did go in between, and we would be more than aware of it. And considering that we're going faster, we would have a bit more speed than compared to them, which they're probably going off of wind.
Exactly.
I mean, they're probably using magic winds, but it's probably not as advanced as, say, us utilizing a literal soul engine.
Right.
Okay. Let's go on. Let's continue on course.
Well, what if Miss Rula flies over and drops a rock on each ship to test for illusion as we continue our course?
I don't want to risk her life in the process, is the thing. Because they might just respond with a cannon fire or potential ballista bolt.
It's hard for cannons to shoot up. Magic has limited range. And I'm sure Miss Arula, being part, I forget what it is you're called, Miss Helica.
Sphinx, but Aurora is a full Sphinx. Should be quite a challenge for any sort of.
Oh,
I think he was referring to your Phyrexian powers.
yeah.
A Phyrexian Sphinx. Yeah, I forget.
Yeah,
Aurora is a Phyrexian Sphinx. She would be hell of a challenge. A hell of a challenge. Yes.
Yeah, so she doesn't need to breathe, so she could fly higher than even the average Sphinx, which is
Or-
really high.
Or even snake underwater.
Water's a bit more dangerous, but
She looks slightly offended at the concept of going underwater.
All right, cause cats.
Nice.
Besides, Stark understands this, but he's going by the logic of caution.
I
Sometimes
understand.
we have to make risks.
Because if she's capable of casting spells that were capable of preventing an entire galleon-sized ship from moving for nearly a day, well, that's a bit of a tricky situation there.
Ultimately, the question comes down to this. Do you want to risk Orilla getting hurt to prove one of the ships is real or not?
No. Sorark would not be willing to risk his crew. He may be a pirate, but he may be loyal to himself, but he's loyal to his crew just as much.
Well,
Risking
that's
lives willy-nilly is not exactly a necessary thing to do, when we could just guarantee regardless.
As a further counterpoint, Orilla's life is not Sorok's call to make.
True.
Miss Elika?
Anakin?
Oh, Chantel, what are you trying to say?
I've been safe many times before. It doesn't always work. I would say go with it, and if anything does go bad, you'll be able to sense it, right? With that Phyrexian blood of yours.
I definitely will. But taking in Captain's words, even though we're practically I'm undying. I can't say for those who work under me, but Orilla, I don't know actually. How fast do you think you could outrun a cannonball, Orilla?
She glances at you. I do not believe I could.
And that's the problem.
Hmm.
Again, those are my thoughts, though they are not guaranteed. As he gestures over to Helga, she is Orilla's boss rather than me, but still.
I say we continue on with the plan that we have. I don't know what I would do if I lost Orilla. Unlike me, they can't come back when they're gone. So,
I
I
have a
say
bet.
we. Hmm?
I have a better idea. If it turns out going south is an illusion, we could test her by sending her towards one of the ships and doing exactly that, but at a much higher height.
Above the
She'll
clouds.
miss more than likelihood, but the benefit is whether or not if they actually attack her. And if they try to attack her with anything particularly nasty, we would know exactly which ship is accurate. And considering that the one that's going in between will be more than likely through there by the point that we get to the southern island, well, she goes after the one that's going in between. We go after the west. If it turns out the in between is the real one and the one to the west is an illusion, we just change course in the middle of it.
All right, I can get with that. Orilla, we'll do that, okay?
As you wish, my lady.
Just some food for thought.
Mhm.
If these ships were going to attack us in any way, don't you think that they would have already attacked us when we were dead in the water for a while?
On a certain level, yes, but I believe she wants this to be more of a competition kind of thing.
Hey.
At least by the feeling of the fact that she slowed us down rather than harmed us.
I think they just wanted to make sure the piece of eight wasn't at the bottom of the water and far harder to get to
Fair.
unless they wanted to risk boarding action, which is never a fun time from what I've heard.
No, it isn't.
All right, Tarilla. Off into the skies with you. We'll go the other way.
And she gives a bow and takes off again, the wind swirling past the party. So, refresh me. What are you doing?
Alright. So, the plan is right now for our ship to go down this way. Arilla is going to go towards this ship. And drop whatever the heck she's probably going to grab to basically drop on top of them. If it hits or not would it not matter, as the result is to see if they attack back.
Gotcha.
If they do, then that means that is the real ship. If it doesn't, it is an illusion. But if it still attacks and we go this way and it turns out to also be in all these directions are all actually ships, that means we're dealing with a fleet.
Cool. All right. Everyone roll me a D100, please. Let's see who fucks over the party first. Yay! Damn! All right, Shinzo, calm your dice, my dude.
I am a god. Okay, so while y'all will talk and figure that out, I didn't want to interrupt y'all, but y'all will notice Shinzo is not on the ship as he went to planeswalk back to where he stole the propellers from and drop off 50 platinum.
Good guy, Shinzo.
Yeah.
Me and Shin said the same thing. Nice.
I mean, I'm just paying him back. I do feel a little bit bad that I just showed up and jacked him.
I just have one question, Shinzo. Were they nice enough to give you more dents in your armor?
I don't know. Should I ask Hawk?
I do have a question though. Couldn't Shinzo have plane walked over to the ship?
He
I mean, yeah, but
planes
I don't know how...
for planeswalking, you have to be able to either see the location that you're going to planeswalk to, or you have to be able to like know exactly what it looks like or have a memory associated with it.
Oh, damn. He could have ended up
So,
in an alternate universe or something like that.
Yeah. Like, while it's absolutely possible for him to just planeswalk to Azura ship, he has to know what it looks like first.
Oh. Okay.
And that we don't have in great detail.
Yeah. What you have on Azura ship is it is boat.
So what's the D100s for? Yeah.
Potentially murder, but we'll see. Also, none of you rolled low enough, so feel fortunate for that.
But we had to roll low enough?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't want to know what happens when we roll high. I'm actually curious what happens if we roll high enough.
Well,
I rolled high enough. I got 100.
Yeah, you did roll high enough, and something is going to happen. I'm just going to get to it. But before you do, Shinzo, as you planeswalked back to that warehouse, to that like facility, workhouse. What? I keep wanting to say warehouse. That's not workshop. Thank you, brain. You're welcome, Hawk. As you planeswalk back to that massive workshop, you would find like a lot of the dwarves and workers looking very annoyed. And then you drop the sack, and they all glance over, and then you hear something coming up behind you. As you glance back to see a massive 8-foot-tall automaton raising a hammer, swinging it down at you.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Right as you planeswalk away.
Talk about moments from being smacked in the face.
At least I paid him back.
Yeah.
Say that went well.
Alright. As the party heads to the southwest, the ship slowly turning as it, going along nicely. Eventually, the sun would start to set. And as you're coming closer to this island, you can see it on the horizon now. It's just rising up. But as the sun sets, what you see makes it seem like the island just exploded, as it suddenly starts glowing. Vast, brilliant hues of pink, blue, and green shining all across this single small island.
I have no idea if that's Nova or not.
In addition, as some of you are glancing down at the water itself, you see that there is now bioluminescent algae floating along the tops, or the surface of the water, as the ship's wake makes glowing, swirling patterns of the wave of this moss-like algae growing on the surface.
Well, look at that.
Kind of reminds me of what you said about the Diamond Desert.
Ah, yes, but yeah, actually, a little bit. Hmm. Helica's gonna fish some up.
Okay.
Chantel as well.
Alright. So either that's our target, or this is the most beautiful trap in the world. And I'm willing to bet it's the former. Mostly because I don't care if it's the latter.
Can I discern what it is?
Y'all can roll knowledge nature.
Jesus.
Having me roll nature. Oh lord.
I'm hoping this is the right song. Alright. Amo and Bean would be able to recognize exactly what it is. It's exactly what I said it was. It's bioluminescent algae. That's it. It's just algae that naturally glows in the dark. That's all.
Will look good in my cabin.
I would like to take a closer look at the island. Using my eyes of the eagle.
As you clip the eyes of the eagle over your face and zoom in with the lenses, you can see why it's glowing quite easily. The entire island is covered in vast, massive, bioluminescent mushrooms.
Alright, guys. That's a trap. We're not going there.
Right.
Well, maybe Elika and Chantel can. But none of the rest of you. I remember the last time you had to deal with mushrooms. Oh, they're poisonous. No, fuck that, Alma. We're gonna walk right into the poisonous mushrooms.
Sorok just looks a bit confused by the obvious passive-aggressive attitude there.
Are they familiar to the ones we've seen in the past?
Let me sketch them down for you.
Amo, you can make a nature check to see if you can identify them. But, If you just sketch them down, anyone else looking at them will have disadvantage. Because they're not looking at them directly, they're just getting hearsay.
I don't recognize them. Would you like to try to use the goggles, see if you can recognize them?
Or you can pass out the fucking magic items. That works too.
I mean, it doesn't require attunement. Wait,
And
does
she
it?
takes the
Do
glass and peers over.
I don't know. Let me find out. No, you just have to be wearing them.
Well,
Those
shit.
seem necessary.
Alright.
Yeah.
Miss Chantel, as you gaze over at the island, you do recognize the mushrooms. You recognize them from the infernal studies that you've done of different realms and planes. Though these are from the material plane, they're not native to the surface.
Underground.
Not just underground. These massive mushrooms are native to the Underdark.
Ah. This looks like a good stop. But we're trying to catch that ship right now. We might have to go back here later. And
Roll-
she still has kept that ring.
Roll me perception.
Jesus.
That is pretty good. Hey, that's pretty good. Alright. You, as you're studying the mushrooms, you notice the ship.
Oh. Where?
It is kind of sailing near the coast of this massive mushroom area. This huge island, a shroom island.
He
Shroomland.
takes off the goggles and calls out to everyone. It's here. The ship.
What direction?
Dead
Up
ahead.
there. By the coast.
Sorga is at first like, wait, really?
Yes.
As he then goes like, can I see the goggles?
Go ahead. She hands it over to you.
And he will look through them.
As you look through them, you see that, yeah, it's just right there.
He just lowers it for a moment, blinks, relooks. Did we just look out?
Possibly. Could also be part of the illusion. Where's Aurilla?
She is currently flying above you.
Ah.
Through your telepathic bond with her, Helica would receive note from her that, like, as far as she can tell, the ship is real. It's physical.
Ooh. And she asks back, did they try to fire at you, or did they even spot you?
She comes back with, I don't think they have weapons.
Okay. Everyone, gather around. Arilla has just notified me that that ship that she wants to go see is very real. And it didn't fire upon her because she believes that there are no weapons aboard.
No weapons. Wait, are they flying the flag? What flag are
No.
they flying? If any?
She asks Arilla to come down.
Aurilla flies down and lands after a moment. You have questions?
The flag. What colors were they hoisting?
Pirate colors. Similar to Azura's original flag, I believe.
So we're dealing with a fleet, perhaps, and if this other ship we're coming upon is as physical as the one you encountered.
She nods.
Looks to Sorok.
You don't usually leave a pirate ship unguarded.
And we know they have powerful magic.
Could be a ploy. Using magic as a means for weapons rather than instead of using cannons when you show off that you're pirates. Well,
But if it were magic, why didn't they use it to attack Arilla?
they probably weren't aware of her, at least
Ah.
not yet.
Sure. Magic also has much more limited range.
Right, the
Depending.
range. Hmm.
There's also that.
I say we chance it.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Chantel said she has some interest in the goings on of there. Our enemy appears to be there, even if it's just a part of the fleet. One less ship for them to use.
I agree.
Okay, well, then this full speed ahead.
All right. As you move down towards the island, as you approach it further, you get a closer look at the ship. But, and here's where everyone needs to roll me perception. Because as you all get closer, those of you with keener and better eyes start to notice something about the ship. So anyone who rolled above a 15 would notice. There is no movement aboard this vessel.
It's still.
Either they just left the ship completely, either before or after arriving here. I would say we board it, just to be extra sure.
Well, never heard of a tactic where they'll have these little ghost ships like that, and they leave TNT on board and wait for the. But yes, I guess with caution, we should try to board.
I disagree. I think the cautious answer would be to sink it now. Broadside it. See what happens.
Fair, because we do have means to go underwater if there's any loot on the ship. Yeah, we'll broadside it.
As you turn to port, your cannons are brought to bear, and with a thunderous roar, sounding like the heartbeat of a massive titan, your cannons reach out with iron fingers and crush this ship. As it starts to go down, you see it hit the sea floor and just tilt, slowly sinking onto its side. You see quite a few bodies bobbing up from it. But you see no one trying to survive, no one trying to swim away from it.
Are there any mushrooms or anything growing on the ship anywhere? Or on the bodies?
As your ship comes a bit closer, you don't see any mushrooms on it at all. There's no spores growing anywhere. There's no mold or poisons or anything like that. It looks like the ship just stopped.
Ship one of the bodies? Question mark.
As you examine the bodies from afar, you see that the majority of them are dead, almost looking like they've been desiccated.
Damn. So I can't bring them back with questioning.
I mean, you could. They're not that dead.
Oh.
There's a big difference between dead and mostly dead.
These guys were all dead, but not dead.
Yeah. I mean, they're
We
dead, but they're not dead.
First,
You know what I'm saying?
we need someone to detect magic, and then second, grab one of the bodies and drag them onto the boat.
Mm.
And if they are, and there's any form of way that we could quickly revive them, or potentially utilize a spell to make them talk, either or works.
Should you animate them, dear?
It is what I suggested.
Helica, as you're glancing down at the bodies, you notice one floating, and then you notice him blinking.
We have a live one.
Get that one then. But still, do detect magic just in case.
I don't have that. What do you-
Well, that was more. Chantel, can you please,
Do
you
it.
know, make sure that we aren't stepping into like any kind of like invocation spell, like,
Well,
The guy has explosive runes written on his back.
No.
I don't have. Oh no, no! I don't have any detect magic, unfortunately.
Billy
Yes.
John, the druid, can you cast detect magic? You know at least the
Yes.
first level spell, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Billy John. If you would.
Billy John activates his detect magic ability, glances out. His brow furrows as he looks into the water. Then he looks at the party.
An issue?
Yes. There is no magic.
Wait, you mean like no magic, no magic?
Yes.
Like a dead zone.
He nods.
Where's the border of it?
He just shrugs.
Is even the water that we are on right now? Or is it just where that ship was?
He just shrugs again and kind of gestures to everything.
So even the island.
Ikarath, you have detect magic, right?
I do not.
Why don't any of you motherfuckers have detect magic? That's like the most important spell.
Our only casters are two warlocks. Why would we have detect magic?
I was gonna say, there's more useful things.
I do have
it up.
Yo, I do have a
Very
question
specific.
though.
What's
I do
up?
have a question though. Like, since I have the Necromancer class and I had to change it to Wizard, couldn't I have written that down in my book and prepared it?
You had to change it to wizard?
Yeah, because I couldn't do it as a cleric. The
Oh.
Necromancer in your kaiju thing.
Oh, yeah. No, because they necromancer doesn't get cantrips.
Oh, never mind.
I'm realizing warlocks have to use a eldritch invocation if they want detect magic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, y'all.
Fucking...
I believe Arilla has detect magic. I'm sorry, I forgot about that. She does.
Oh, thank God.
Thank God.
I can actually talk with Arilla instead of just saying yes. Alright, as Arilla casts detect magic, she looks around. I can tell that the spell is working, but it does not seem to be operating beyond my eyes.
Oh.
So...
Is the engine still going?
The engine is still going.
That does not run on magic per se, more so souls.
I'll take your word for it. But my magic items still work as well.
Do they?
Do my Eyes of the Eagle work?
No, they don't. As you reach up to try and twist them and activate their magic, you find that they aren't working.
Well then.
Somebody grab that lad and we get away from this island.
Here's where I'm going to have all of you roll perception again. As Bigglesby goes down and lifts the guy up, it brings him up to the deck and just plants him there, where he kind of sputters, but it's like his heart isn't in it.
Well, I don't see anything.
So, being Shinzo and Helica, as the ship starts up and starts pulling away from the island, you glance out towards the open sea to see a massive hump swell out of the water and go back underneath.
Oh.
Fun ahead.
What does it say, a thing in the ocean out yonder?
What sort of thing? Like a
Big
shark?
beast.
Thing.
A living being?
Yes, you've seen it too. It breached and then back down. We should be careful.
Anti-magic, extremely large sea creature. Near an island. Would this be enough to roll a history or something?
Yes, go right ahead.
Can I? Yeah, can I actually do that too?
Sure.
Roll nice.
Well, alrighty then. Alright. So with a 20 and a 20, there are many legends out at sea, but none are more terrifying than the Leviathan. A massive beast of indeterminable origin that lurks in the Sea Prince's domain. Legend has it that it travels with a companion of sorts, they patrol the waters looking for any unwary visitors who will fall prey to their sinister tactics. One of them, a monstrous, capable of seducing even the greatest of men, and the other, a nightmare who can shut down the most powerful spellcasters. And together, they are unstoppable.
Bigglesby, throw that thing overboard now.
Bigglesby looks down at the guy who's just laying there. He kicks him.
Okay. So,
Let's go
Good.
not in the direction of whatever the hell that was.
Whatever the hell that was is basically every way away from this island at this point.
Good news and bad news. Good news is there's probably a piece of A on that island. Bad news is one of the most powerful sea creatures pretty much has us surrounded, and his friend can just shut off all magic. Also, more enchantress bullshit, but we have Miss Chantel, so we're not worried about that.
Sarek just rubs his eyes as he's like, right, so I guess we have to go on the island.
Right.
Yes, we do. I'm quite
Okay.
excited.
But what about the other captain? They're probably well away from here.
More than likelihood that this wasn't her ship.
Mm.
Or at least her main one, but it is one of hers, I think.
Alright, let's tackle this island and see what's on. Mm. And she just like drifts off, looking off at the sea and
Wait,
just.
I just realized why there were three.
Three what? Oh,
Three
right.
ships. She did bring a fleet, but two of them were literally decoys to lure in this thing.
So if we had chased them, we would have ran into that thing. Maybe that's what they wanted.
I think that was the part of the plan, is if we foolishly followed one of the decoys, we would have been trapped with the Leviathan, having to deal with it, while she goes on with unhindered.
Look, they becalmed us and expected us to be down for a day. These decoys have nothing to do with us. These decoys are for the Leviathan. We
You
just
hear
got to
a lovely voice starting to echo out across the waves. As your ship comes parallel with the shore, you see on the rocks far ahead a mermaid-like figure glowing faint green with tribal tattoos all down her body. A single hand lays on her chest as she sings out a lovely tune, one that draws each and every one of you in.
Now, darling, we have some Underdark business to do.
Every single one of you needs to make me a wisdom save and a charisma save.
Run.
One of those, I think. Oh. I'm fucked.
Alright, let's start with the wisdom saves. Alright, Bean, you're okay. Amo is fine. Ikarath is also fine. Helica feels drawn to it, but manages to pull herself away. Shinzo, Sorok... Oh, Ikarath is... Where's Ikarath's wisdom save?
23.
It's 23.
23. Okay, Ikarath, you're fine. So Shinzo and Sorok are completely entranced by this strange woman. Strange mermaid.
Pretty fishy.
As for the charisma saves, I think literally only Ikarath is okay from this one.
Excited.
His human traits definitely kicked in this case.
I feel nothing.
Can you tell us what is happening to us?
Ikarath being the only one completely unaffected, you get a distinct sense of terrible foreboding. As the rest of you, your gazes are locked on this siren as she continues to sing. And then, Ikarath, you being apparently the only one on the boat who can take your eyes off of this woman, glance to port, and you see the Leviathan rise out of the water and slam into the side of the boat.
Oh boy.
The spell is broken as all of you are thrown to the deck. As the Leviathan slams into the boat, the siren begins singing again. And as some of you are flying through the air, still entranced and watching her, you can see her grin, eyes gleaming with malevolent light. Now, I need all of you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Wait, is this for being knocked over on a deck?
Yes. You're immune to that?
Give me a moment, actually. Does being a swashbuckler give me that?
That's entirely possible. Also, special thanks to DM Dokuro and the Calamity Mod soundtrack, because this is gorgeous. As the majority of you are thrown to the ground, Amo managing to catch on to Bigglesby as he takes off. Chantel not giving a shit because reasons.
Right.
The rest of you are knocked to the ground, the enchantment immediately cutting out. As you turn to look at the massive Leviathan, its gigantic head rears back as it roars. The stench of rotting fish just batters your faces, making a few of you start to gag. All of your forces immediately start shooting bows and crossbows and magic at the monster. But you see all of them bounce off of its thick hide, the spells barely making it a few feet away from the caster's hands before they fizzle out. And still more of your men, your minions, are entranced by the siren's song as it continues. Roll initiative.
We need to put our tokens down, right?
Yeah.
Well, I got a 12.
Yeah, just throw them down somewhere. Doesn't matter.
I kind of wish I got that.
But you did not.
Stupid question. How do I make my token appear?
Click the name and then drag it onto the page.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Alright. Shinzo, you're up first. You're on the ground.
Okay, which one is closest to me? The siren or the Leviathan?
The Leviathan. The siren is actually quite a good distance away. The fact that her song is still reaching the party is kind of impressive.
Well, I guess I gotta go after the Leviathan. Would his Sword of Wounding lose its magical properties?
It would indeed.
Damn it, man. Oh well. That means the Bloodlether would too. Okay, yeah, he'd just be using Sword of Wounding and the longsword and jump after it, swinging twice, all 4 times.
As you come up to its thick, powerful hide, 3 of your strikes slam against its side and bounce off. Your final one manages to stab between a couple of scales, jamming deep into its side, doing significant damage, but the Leviathan doesn't even seem to notice. Amo.
Bumblebee and I see that, turn, and we are going flying as fast as possible towards the siren.
Awesome. You get about halfway there. Chantel.
What is the siren doing right now?
Still singing.
And how are the crew looking?
Panicked.
Anyone charmed?
Doesn't seem like it.
Am I in range to hit the siren?
With what?
Lightning?
Like a lightning bolt?
No, lightning storm.
Yes, most certainly. As you raise your hands, actually, you know what? You describe it. How you doing?
He begins to raise her hands, and she makes her own song within the fog that she builds, and tries to battle it out singing the siren herself as she chants along to the beat of the thunderstorms striking down.
The storm starts to form as you manage to forge it, and the lightning strikes down at the siren, and as it hits her, she shatters into multiple shards of ice, scattering on the stone and the waves beneath her. And then the singing is right next to you. As you glance over to see the siren has reformed immediately adjacent to you, singing right in your ear.
Just sings louder, bringing her own tune up to the siren.
All right. And Helica.
Oh, damn. Okay, I didn't realize it's my turn. Okay, since the siren is right there, shoot. I'm going to cast... Wait, I have a question. Is magic itself disabled, like, or is it just like, is it just trinkets and weapons and like...
It's hard to tell. Her storm went off, but it seems like normal magic items and lesser spells are failing to work.
Oh. Alright. I'm going to take out my Wave Cutter Kopesh, spin it a couple of times, swing it for the siren's stomach.
Yep. You managed to slice the siren in half, only to realize seconds later that she's turned to ice and falls into icy shards on the deck of the boat. Then, almost immediately, her song continues, and you turn to see her sitting on the railing of the helm.
Shoot. Alright, that's my turn.
Alright, Sorok.
Okay, so situation. First things first, flame tongue out, and can he actually activate the flames?
As you pull the flame tongue out, you find that yes, you can.
Well, that's good. Now, where is this siren?
Up on the railing next to the helm.
And the Leviathan is where?
The entire side of the ship.
I have two stupid ideas.
I have many stupid responses.
The first one, run up and try to, like, smack as many times as I can onto the siren. Or I could climb up the side and then jump on top of the Leviathan and start hacking away. Going full on Captain Jack Sparrow on his ass,
Alright.
kind of thing.
Up to you, my dude. Go for whatever you feel is best.
And the more I think about it, I'm going to take the last one. So, what Sorok will do is he's going to go to one of the rope ladders that, you know, leads you to the various pillories that hold the sails.
Yeah.
Once he gets to the one closest to the boat itself, he would get on top of it, grab a rope, and basically swing his way towards the Leviathan to jump on top of it, using the flame tongue, and hopefully to basically lock himself to being on top of the damn thing.
Alright. I like it. Roll me in acrobatics.
Hey, that's a skill I'm actually really good at.
Well, let's see how far you get with it. Yep, alright. I'll allow it. As you swing forth, waving your blade, you notice the Leviathan, one of the Leviathan's, 6 eyes glances up at you. And as you launch yourself towards the top, your sword goes out. But
So, that's where the anti-magic is at.
as you land on top of it, you may make your attack.
Excellent. This will not be at advantage, would it?
No. Your blade comes down. It cracks and strikes against the massive scales of the Leviathan, but fails to penetrate it.
And of course, Sorok just growls at it. And just gives it the clear look of, come at me, motherfucker, I dare ya.
As you glare into its eye, you can see that it's not a monster. It's actually quite intelligent.
Same point, still.
Well, Ikarath, it's your turn.
I currently trying to figure out what to do without magic.
We have a big crew of people who are currently in the middle of a big old panic, with their leader currently standing on top of the monster.
That's true.
Well, first I have to get up, because I believe I was knocked over. Correct?
Yeah, you were. Yep, you fell down. Snake man fall down.
I just realized something that Ikarath could do. People are panicking, yeah?
Yes, they are. Quite much so.
Try and get them to get their shit together.
Yeah. In fact, you could use the fact that I got on top of the damn thing and started fighting it directly myself. Could probably motivate them to actually, instead of panicking, going full on, like, we're going to fight regardless, and yeah, well, you get the idea.
Igrath would just start yelling at everybody on the deck and just be like, Hey! Hey! Listen. And he's gonna point at the siren and be like, she is trying to make you confused. Stop it. And point back at Sorok on top of the Leviathan and say, look at what he is doing. He is doing this for you. Now it's time to join him. Do what you are here to do. All of you.
Roll persuasion. You managed to get a lot of them to calm down as they refocus their efforts on driving off the Leviathan. The war continues as they shoot, strike, charge at, and just do everything they can to try and fight off this massive beast. The beast itself growls and grumbles. And Sorok, you feel a presence behind you. Turning around, you find the siren sitting there. Is this ship yours?
Rightfully so.
And are you proud of it? Does it bring you pleasure?
It doesn't bring me pleasure. It gives me purpose.
And what purpose do you have?
I am a fucking pirate. What do you think, you wench?
Such a temper. I remember the last orc with a temper. I broke his toy, too.
Well, you won't break me.
The Leviathan lifts his head. I'm gonna need you to roll me an acrobatics save to stay on its head. You manage to grab onto one of the large horns protruding from from like a ridge going down its head and back as it lifts up. As two massive hands come out, grab onto the side of the ship. As Sora glances back at the siren, she grins. You remind me. Those yellow eyes. I broke his ship in half, too. As the Leviathan brings its massive head down, splintering the ship in half. Wood flies everywhere. People are thrown like between the decks, slamming into each other, slamming into the opposite sides. The rest of the party, y'all are just thrown wildly. The only person to escape this is Bigglesby and Amo, who are far away from the ship at this point. As the Leviathan sinks into the water after slamming down with such force, the rest of the ship immediately starts to descend into the ocean. The frothing waves and massive air pockets making explosions of sea foam. The currents and whirlpools created by the water rushing in to fill the air left that was once part of the boat. It's dragging people under. Amo, from very, very far away, you can see Azura's ship.
Okay, which direction?
To the north.
Alright, that's to the north. Wait, a floating ship, correct? Not the sunk one?
Yeah, their actual ship. It's far enough away that you can just make it out with your eyes of the eagle, and in the crow's nest, you can see Azura themselves watching with a sinister grin. As their gaze turns to you, they seem to squint and focus for a moment before giving a little wave.
I will flip them off, yell curses that they can't hear because we're so far away, and then immediately fly towards the wreckage to try to pick up, Chantel. And Ikaroth, specifically.
Alright. Well, now we come to the part that is survival. Ikaroth and everyone except Amo and Sorok, I need you to roll me Constitution saving throws as you struggle to stay afloat. Helica, I guess you wouldn't have to because you're undead.
Well, that's a good thing about being undead. You don't need to worry about breathing.
Yeah.
How about we lure the Leviathan towards them?
I had a really dumb idea once my turn comes back up.
As... I need a con save from Chantel, please. Thank you. Alright, y'all are... So, Chantel, as... Let's go one by one. Chantel, as you are thrown from one side of the boat onto the other, you slam your back against the now shattered mast. And as it tilts, it kind of tosses you downwards. As you slam face first into the water, you are knocked unconscious. Fortunately, this means she's very easy for Amo to find, as Bigglesby quickly swoops down and picks her up. Ikaroth, you are thrown into you are thrown directly into the water, slamming into it hard. Fortunately, you're naturally... No, actually, as a cold-blooded reptile, you would be more susceptible to the cold, but you rolled high enough, so you're fine. You manage to just barely regain consciousness and struggle your way back to the surface, fighting against the currents. And as you're flailing and trying to keep afloat, you slap against something, only to find Shinzo there, helping to hold you steady. Because Shinzo is Shinzo, and Shinzo doesn't give a fuck.
I got you, buddy.
Thanks.
You see countless others struggling to stay afloat amidst this terrifying current, as fucking Amo swoops down and manages, and with Bigglesby help, manages to pick you two up. Or at least picks Ikaroth up. Bigglesby tries to pick up Shinzo, but He too big.
I'll look at Shinzo and point to the island. Teleport! You can clearly visualize it. It's right there.
No problem. He would then activate the wings on the shield on his back to fly out of the water and start flying towards it to get a clear enough view to where he could just planeswalk to it.
All right. You managed to get high up enough as suddenly the Leviathan resurfaces and your wings shut off, going limp. As you're falling, pop, you planeswalk.
Oh, thank God.
Helica, as she lands in the water, is left, fine. But as she finds that she does not start floating back up. Instead, she immediately starts sinking.
Ooh, she begins to freak out.
Would she freak out? Do you want to roll a wisdom save for that?
Yeah. Let me see. I imagine Helica has thalassophobia. Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
She's like, you know. I'm sure Arlo's like, stop crying, gets her out of the fish her out of the water. I guess.
As she's panicking, all of her Phyrexian minions are like come over to her and help to restrain her, eventually making her realize, yeah, she doesn't have to breathe. They can just walk to shore. And while they can't talk underwater, like, the rest of them make her understand, like, she's okay. It's gonna be alright.
Oh, right. I forgot. I'm not not organic in that matter. Okay, yes, let's walk ashore, she says in the mine.
Alright. Sorok, as the Leviathan slowly resurfaces, having only briefly dipped you into the cold ocean, you look over the wreckage of your father's ship.
To say the least that he's pissed isn't gonna even cover how angry he is. As he just raises his sword and charges at the Leviathan's eye, intending full on to stab it.
Alright. Go ahead and roll. You manage to swing down and stab into its eye.
I did unmark the fire part, so...
Yep.
Oh. Oh, and yes, I am intending to smite unless I can't.
No, you can. Go for it.
Okay, then I smite.
You stab into its eye, and it roars. Oh, does it roar. As Amo and Bigglesby have landed on shore, and the rest of the part, and Shinzo has planeswalked onto the beach, and Helica and her Phyrexians have just barely managed to drag themselves back up onto the dry land. The next thing they know, it's an earthquake, as the roar is easily the loudest thing any of them have ever heard. They can feel the reverberations through their chests. They can feel the sheer force of volume echoing past them. This thing is mad. And then, with a single whipping emotion, the Leviathan twists its eye and head with such ferocity. Sorok, you're going to have to make an athletics check to hold on. You just barely managed to hold on to your sword. You can feel it slipping out of the Leviathan's eye, but as its head twisting stops, you come slamming back down, still holding on to it.
I will action surge. And
Go.
I full on intend to sink that sword deeper.
Go for it.
As he just shouts, "No matter how many times anyone breaks that ship, it will always come back. There's nothing that will stop a goddamn golden eye from reigning these seas like a king!" And I will say this, his eye is just completely engulfed with a golden fire-esque effect kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Along with his beard.
Go right ahead. Make your second attack.
And at this point, since he's standing still, I am going... Am I allowed to do this? Just for...
Action surge is a bonus action.
Ah, fuck. Alright, fair enough.
That still hits.
God, I actually hit still.
Roll damage.
Again, smite.
That's still some good smiting action. As you ram the sword deeper... Sorok. AC 17? Alright. As Sorok plunges it deeper, he glances over to the seas just in time to see a beam of icy blue light lance out, smash him straight in the chest, knocking him off of the Leviathan, leaving his flame tongue embedded deep in its eye. As Sorok goes flying into the sea, he slams into it back first. And as he sinks down, he feels the current starting to swim and warp around him from all of the air pockets and stuff that the boat is now sucking in water to fill. And then the siren herself appears in front of him, glowing, menacing eyes, a sadistic grin. Don't worry. You'll have plenty to eat on this island. There's all sorts of mushrooms. And then she turns to ice in front of him. And as she starts turning to ice, starting with her eyes, she gently reaches out and tries to hug him. And as her body freezes solid, turning into crystalline ice, she has trapped him in a frozen hug that is slowly weighing him down.
I'll be back no matter what.
While that would be threatening, since you're underwater, it came out more like...
Yeah, I know. Still.
Is any of the party perceiving this?
Yes. All of you can see are watching this happen.
Oh, let's get in there then.
I'm knocked out.
Oh,
Shinzo
okay.
would immediately planeswalk to him.
Can I regain myself or not?
Roll me a con save. Let's see what you get. All right. Chantel manages to regain consciousness just long enough to see the siren turn into an ice prison around Sorok, dragging him to the depths.
He goes out to jump in.
Bigglesby will fly over there.
As the group heads out, the three of you going your own ways, Shinzo gets there first, obviously, jumping over with his planeswalking ability to immediately grab at the ice. Fortunately, it's just ice. It's not that hard to break. And as the two of you sputter back to the surface, Bigglesby quickly grabs you two and pulls you back towards Chantel, who helps them both to shore. Many of your forces have been devastated by this. And you can see a lot of them are just barely scraggling to shore. Some swimming out to help others. Others just trying to catch their breath after barely surviving this incident. This tragedy. And as you all turn back to watch to see what the Leviathan does next, it looks down at the group. Then at Sorok.
He's just staring in rage, and mind you, the golden fire is not exactly gone yet. He's, like, really pissed off.
The Leviathan looks down at you with scorn. Then turns to one half of the boat. Its maw opens.
Which half of the boat is it? Because Chantel will immediately levitate the Hellforge out of there.
It's the front half. With a devastating pulse, you see lightning erupt from its mouth, combined with concussive force, as the entire front half of the ship, now sinking, is obliterated. As Chantel focuses her power, ripping the Hellforge out and dragging it on board, now waterlogged, the Leviathan takes a deep breath, turns to the other half, and unleashes its breath upon that half as well. As your forces stare in horror at what has just transpired, I'm imagining the only thing in Captain Sorok's head right now is pure and utter fury. As the Leviathan glares at the group, with a splash, the siren pops out of the water to lay on its head. You can see thousands upon thousands of, like, strands of kelp glowing with some sort of arcane energy, as lots and lots of bodies are just, like, slowly being dragged towards them. The algae, the kelp itself, slowly wrapping around each and every corpse. Without taking its eyes off the group, the Leviathan opens its mouth and bites down on all of them.
Oh, shit.
And then it slowly turns and sinks back into the waves. The last thing you see of it is the siren's mocking grin.
Wow. So that happened.
Chantel's looking at the whole crew who's left. Is everyone... Is anyone injured?
Everyone is injured.
Well... Frick. Damn.
Oh boy.
Sorak, your ship.
They're going to pay. Not only are they going to pay, but so is Azura.
We need to tend to the wounded immediately.
Do so. They'll need their full strength.
Bigglesby and I are gonna the water, see if there's anybody left.
Do what you can. Save anyone you can. If anyone's left out there.
Aurelia's still here. Is Zutak and them around?
Yep. They're all still there.
Okay.
You can feel through your telepathic bond to them that they already are planning on going out and trying to retrieve anything useful from the ship.
Perfect.
Sorok was check if the Sea Prince journal was still on him.
Yes, it was.
He's just gonna pull it out and start walking inland. And he's going to be looking for specifically how to become a Sea Prince. Even if he may not be able to read it right now, he already knows what he's looking for at this point.
Helica would also march inland as well towards the Great Mushroom Forest, is it what it looks like?
Yep.
Yeah. I have Arla tending carefully to the wounded using the magics.
You got it.
Ikarath would join Helica and Sorok.
So, Chantel.
Out of character, Amo did bring up a good point.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
completely out of character, but do I find anyone there?
Anyone where?
Anyone alive in the ocean?
Roll me a D100. Whoops. That is the wrong button.
Oh,
You do not find anyone living in the waves. In fact, you don't even find corpses in the waves. You find nothing.
what do you flop?
So, what is this? Since I guess we're coming upon the edge of this forest. Is there anything that looks peculiar about, other than there's just glowing mushrooms or whatever?
As some of the group approach the forest, you find that there are figures watching you from it, looking very concerned and very, very frightened. small, mushroom-like figures, vaguely humanoid, with bright, glowing blue eyes.
Chantal will go up to one of them and talk to them. Excuse me?
As you approach, they scutter away, squeaking in fear.
Ikaroth would use message and just speak to any of them that he can still see and just say, "We are peaceful. We mean no harm. We simply lost our ship."
They seem to understand, but none of them want to come closer. Until after about 10 minutes of trying, one of them approaches, looking up at whoever wants to be the one.
Oh, little wavy baby. Can I call you Paris?
What? Okay. As the mushroom creature looks up at you. Hello? Where you from?
From Saltmarsh. Far from here. But our boat has been destroyed and we're looking to repair it. But we need a place to stay.
As this one is speaking to you, you see a lot of the other ones, like, slowly, gingerly approaching, and there are a lot of them, easily outnumbering your forces 3-1. You look like
Go ahead.
You look like mage.
Yes. But I come with no harm.
Mage not come with harm. Mage good.
Yes, yes. So, we'd like a place to stay for now and recover. Do you know any other places that we can see here? We are also looking for something, you see. And she points to Sorok. Hopefully that he still has the pictures or just the piece of 8 to show.
He would always have it wrapped around his neck, so...
That thing over there, you see?
They look at it, but they chatter with each other, and then the one speaking shakes his head. Or its head. We have village? Yes. Big shroom! The big shroom.
Big shroom.
We take shelter when rain. Sometimes very windy.
Oh, I see. Can we stay there too? And also, do you know of any other people that live here on this island?
Mage!
Mage? What do you mean?
We ask Elder. You can visit Mage.
Chantal turns to the party. I guess we'll visit them?
Yeah,
If it could get us... If it could get us any further on our goals, then I guess so.
But we should probably not mention our run-in with them, you know who back in Saltmarsh.
Oh, yes. Never mention it.
Yep.
Who?
Mm-hmm.
Which person?
Ziggy.
Yeah.
Oh, meh.
I mean, we're dealing with Mike and Nids. which I believe Ikaros.
We were warned about.
Yeah. Well, Ikaros, Shinzo, and Amo have all run into Myconids before.
Mm-hmm.
Back in first dungeon.
Yeah. Well, way back in the day.
At the very beginning.
Back in my day, there were only 3 Myconids, and they were cowards.
How's that for foreshadowing, motherfuckers? I set this island up back in episode 2. I didn't actually, but this is a nice callback. All right. As the group manages to get everyone patched up, not waterlogged and dying, and about just about capable of walking safely, all of y'all manage to get your forces together and head out. You've lost nearly half your people. But now, each and every one of them is walking with a purpose, with a singular desire. They're gonna kill that Azura bitch, and they're going to eventually kill that giant Leviathan. Thank you all so very much for watching. My name has been Hawk. I've been your DM for this evening. Special shout out to Shun and Bean for doing the amazing character artwork that you've seen on screen today. You can follow them at the Shunbun and Magic Bean. Link in the doobly-doo. You can also follow me on Twitter at Hawk Johansson and Prismblade G for direct updates of when new episodes are starting up. Extra special shout out to Shinzo for editing the YouTube version of this. Shinzo, you motherfucker.
Thanks.
If you like what you listen to, please consider supporting us on Patreon. You get stuff, you can do stuff. Come follow us on Discord. You can come chat with us at any time. Like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your dog. Please tell your dog. I would love to see your dog. Send me pictures of your dog on Twitter. I will make a Magic the Gathering card out of them. You have question? So, out of curiosity, Shun. How bad did Helica want to make a Siren waifu?
Yeah, I knew it wasn't going to happen. She's too cold. Cold.
Ow. That hurt.